Welcome to the CRS Sim Racing Championship 2025. Today is the championship finale from Homestead Miami Speedway. The title is on the line. The cash payout is on the line. Every race has built to this very moment. Today, I'm joined by Hallie. Tell me about this championship battle we have going on with Aaron Brown, Edward Sanchez, and Trey.
7 points is the gap that Aaron Brown needs to maintain. You'd think it would be easy, and well, it's a lot of places, but this is certainly the ultimate track to throw the grand finale, let me put it like that. It's Homestead Miami, there's nothing in the world like it. Hit the top line, hit the low line, try and use that progressive banking to your advantage all the way, ride the waterbout wrecking into it. It's an all-time classic, it's where the NASCAR finale should be, and I'm glad that's why we're doing it here today.
Championship finale, Homestead Miami. There's no other talent track like this. You're gonna have to prove that you are the best today on NASCAR's greatest mile-and-a-half racetrack. We got palm trees here, the stars are out, and it's time to go racing from Miami. I'm super hyped up. Location, Homestead, Florida. First opened November 3rd, 1995. It was a 1.5 mile track with 18 to 20 degree banking, 4 degrees on the straightaway. Let's get it. Homestead, Miami, baby. The show is about to be on the road. I'm pumped up. That's all I can say. I'm excited. This is round number 5. Trey has put that baby on the pole, but the man he has to beat is Aaron Brown, rolling off in position number 2. Jonah Bryan rolls off the grid in position number 3, and Edward Sanchez, who is battling for the title, is coming from 4th. Matthew and Christian Burns will round out that low from the 5th and 6th position. You see Nathan Chain in position number 7, Aaron Raymond in position number 8, Zach Davison rolling up in 9th. We got Morgan in the 10th position in car number 2. Joshua Norton rolls off in the Ricky Bobby machine in position number 11. Zachary Duppa, P12. We got a new driver in the 27 this week. I'll be looking forward to that one. And position number 14 is going to go to the 7 machine. Peter Saddington, position number 15, followed by Ferris in the 16th position. This is going to be one heck of a show as the rest of the grid is unfolding here in our very eyes. I think it's just all about the championship battle right now. That's what's important. The championship battle on the line. Hallie, tell us, what does these guys have to do that's not Aaron Brown? How do they win the championship? How do they drive through Aaron?
7 places up, meaning if he has a good run from where he is, it's almost not in question, but I simply don't think it's going to be that easy around it. This is one of the tracks where you get the most passing and the most battling because of the amount of lanes that can really work and the amount of tyre saving that has to be done over the long run here. Charlotte was full of incidents left, right, and centre. You're probably going to get some here with cars ending up inside each other, but there's more space to move as well. So it's not expecting the same kind of jeopardy. Anything can happen. We found out that anything can happen. 100 laps around here can ruin someone's day very, very quickly with no fast repair.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna get a little bit bumpy, a little bit chaotic, but that's where we're gonna find the entertainment. But I think the big question is here today, do you want to run the bottom groove, the top groove, the middle groove? Where do you want to be around Homestead, Miami to contend for this championship? What is the fast way around? Well, we're about to be coming to get the green flag from Homestead, Miami Speedway. The pace car is about to be hitting pit road, and it's about to be showtime. We're going to learn on lap number 1, will it be chaos or will these drivers be able to race it out? I think we're going to have some trouble early on, so I got my eyes opened just in case that does happen. Boy, am I excited for the show we are about to put on. Here we go. Trey is going to lead him against the green flag. The green flag is flying. It's going to be a race into turn number 1. 3 wide. All 3 championship contenders are battling for the championship lead. 3 by 3 through turn number 1 and 2. Up turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Looks like Aaron Brown is going to have the upper hand. He's going to go to the point already. What a show, what a battle we are getting here from Homestead, Miami.
That's the first lap, but we'll see who can hold it against the wall. Trey Lambrick really can't. It's faster up against the wall, but you have the cost of the tyre wear over a longer run here, and also the risk of just going into the thing. Very, very easy to go into that wall and have a horrible time like that. So a lot of drivers are going to try and save their stuff early, I think, on the bottom. Hang around down there for a little bit and then migrate their way up when they want to make moves, make passes on others. But they're going to be doing a lot of fighting this early on because we're already taking different lines up and around here.
So what I'm seeing right now, first, second, third, and points. Running 1, 2, 3 currently. It doesn't matter where they're running. If Aaron Brown is leading, if Aaron Brown wins this race, he will get the championship. So what these guys behind him have to do, they either have to get in his head or straight out race him for this championship, and they're going to have to beat him by 7 positions to get it done and to get that money. Here comes Trey on the outside, car number 43, absolutely hauling. He says he sees grip up there, but this is a track where tire wear is very important, and you got to make sure that you save the tires. If you burn them up, you may just be out of luck.
And there's a lot of space on the track. It's going to allow you to move very dynamically. It's the 19 further in the back there, just the fastest lap. It does feel like Trey Lambrick's in the wall every time he goes around, but he does seem to be maintaining speed, which to me tells me he can do this and hold it up there very, very well. That might hurt you in the long run to do every single lap for 100, but it's certainly a fast way around here. And Brown's exactly where he needs to be, though, exactly where he needs to be and wants to be, and he's going to hope to try and hold that out for as long as possible.
Absolutely, but here comes Trey on the outside, right up against the wall. I think Edward Sanchez, if he wants to win this race, just like Charlotte, he's going to have to save the tires on that baby and hope that he's the fastest driver come lap number 100. And it's important you don't wreck out here, that you don't find trouble, that you don't put yourself in a bad situation going for the win. But we're getting some clean racing in this event, and that's one thing that's very important. So Peter Saddington, the Bitcoin Lambo. So if you don't know Peter's story, he is not only the owner of CRS, but this guy called a Lamborghini with straight Bitcoin. What a story that is. He says, love the announcing, props to the announcers, you make it so much fun. And absolutely, and that's what CRS is about. It's about fun, it's about entertainment, it's about college kids jumping into motorsports, whether that's sim racing or real life racing. This is your pathway to the race track. But right now, we're getting some green flag racing from Miami, and I may have spoke too soon.
Zachary Depper back. Also, that praise from the league owner means that at least I serve some purpose around here, so thank you very much. But Zachary Depper down and around. Not quite sure what could have caused this, but that's what we have the replay button for, of course. So, is it another car, or is it a... Oh, that's a big squeeze on the into the 16 on the outside there. He was there. He was not given the space, and he sent Zachary Depper backwards and out of the way. That car not too damaged, but we'll send him to the back for a restart.
That was an interesting one. I mean, right as we were bragging about a green flag race, we got our first yellow flag of the day. I think the big storyline here today is obviously the points championship, and I'm thinking if I'm Edward Sanchez running in the second position, you know, you might want to take some chances right now. You might want to hit pit road, get a little bit fresher tires on it, take some gambles. Maybe you'll get another yellow flag in 5 laps and come out with the lead. This may be an opportunity for you just to get off strategy and do what you got to do to go win this baby. I know he's going to do what's best for him, but at the same time, he needs to do what will win him the championship. And sometimes that's straight gambling, He's keeping himself in position, keeping himself in sight, but it's looking like the story may be he might just need a little bit of bad luck from Aaron. You never like wishing bad luck on your competitors, but that might be just what he needs to get an opportunity to win the championship. I believe pit road is going to be opened. I don't know how many is going to head down there, but we're going to see what we have here. But man, this has been one heck of a show, Hallie. What we got so far? We're 8 laps in. It's been an event. It's been a show. It's been entertaining. I mean, what else could we ask for it? And what is there to look forward to for the next 90 laps around here? I mean, do you think it's going to come down to strategy, or who has the best tires come the end, or who's just going to man up and wheel the car the best?
It's going to be a tire war, but I am concerned that if it stays green, Aaron probably gets away with it for as long as possible because he's got a big buffer. Best hope for the other two is that something does happen to him, and the best way for something to happen to him is for back-to-back cautions to sort of back up this field and introduce more restarts and more instability into the equation. Or lapped cars, of course. That's about the odds for the other two. Are there any prizes for second around here?
Yeah, we got prizes for the whole top 5 in the championship.
Well,
so
that makes that battle for
getting
P2 worth it, then. That makes that battle for P2 because between them, Sanchez and Lambert, that's just a positions battle. Whoever finishes ahead gets it. And on their basis, I mean, it is going to be a tyre wear game. I think if it goes green for longer, it's a tyre wear game, and it just becomes about who saves them better in the long run. Because at that point, running that top a lot, it's going to take a lot out of them, and pushing it too hard is going to take a lot out of them. These are the 3 fastest drivers by a long shot, so it's going to be between themselves, really. I don't think anything else might get in their way if they're going to top 3 the row like that. Also, somebody at home on the track asked about paints. I forgot to turn my trading paints off for an earlier event. You're back. If you want a spotlight, shout out on the voice chat. They're back.
And here we go. We're about to be coming back to get the green flag. So this is a perfect opportunity to mention our halfway giveaway on lap number 50. If you want to enter, put something in the chat, blow the chat up. The more comments will only increase your shot at the win. It's completely random, but go spam something in the chat. We're going to give a autographed Leland Honeyman hero card away on lap number 50. I'll ship it out to you first thing Monday morning. 90 laps to go. This championship has came down to the final 90 laps. So Edward Sanchez would be leading the points right now if it wasn't for a final lap crash at Talladega. He feels like he was a little bit robbed in this championship, and he's going to have to get a little bit lucky here tonight to come out with the title. The green flag is waving in the CRS Miami 400. Here we go. Back in the turn number 1, Aaron Brown is going to lead him. He's on the bottom groove, and he's trying to throttle up down there and get some momentum, but I really believe that outside is coming in. Trey just scraped the wall off turn number 2, but there's single file all the way back behind him. The battle for second is on, and it looks like it's getting crazy for about 10th on back as we almost seen 3 wide off turn number 4.
I'd call that definitely a 3 wide off turn number 4. It's wide enough you could fit in a 4th or maybe a 5th. It's everyone to the bottom this time, except for someone, Aaron Raman, I think that is, up the high side, the first car further back. I don't know if they're going to read each other's lines and play like that, or if they're going to just sort of do their own thing, not worry too much about it, hope it comes back to you at the end of the race. This field certainly don't seem like they're chain wrecking. I mean, we certainly saw some tough restarts at Charlotte. These guys look like if we get more yellows, they're going to be little isolated incidents, little pockets. They can happen, they probably will, but they're not going to be easily predictable field killers. So it means you sort of need to get in your own head and anticipate a long run, I think, every single time. The time's going to fly on by.
So I'm looking at the lap times, and Edward Sanchez is one of the fastest cars on the track right now. My worry is he may be melting up his tires. He's looking fast. Trey's looking fast. I don't know how much these drivers are saving but Aaron Brown is definitely a lot slower than a few of his competitors. And we got Peter Saddington scraping the wall off turn number 4, and they are 3 wide. Down the front straightaway, Zach Davison coming through the middle groove in car number 19. He's going to get the 2-for-1 deal and gain a couple spots that time through, as Jake Cummings just ran the fastest lap of the race right there. This is getting wild. My goodness, and here comes the fight for the lead. Trey on the outside is really throttling up. I think he's trying to put it all on the line early and show Aaron Brown, if he wants the championship, he's gonna have to earn it here tonight. The fight for the lead is on. Trey sneaks down to the bottom groove of Aaron Brown, and they're going to be side by side off turn number 2, and Trey's going to get the upper hand, but not quite, because the outside just has too much momentum. Trey's going to go for a nice slide job here in turn number 3. He's going to throw that baby in, but with Aaron Brown pinning him down, he just cannot hold the position. Almost enough to clear the top, but not quite. The battle continues, almost contact. This is exactly what you want to see if you're Edward Sanchez. Let them take each other out for the championship and sneak into the picture. We're going to see 3 wide for the lead. All 3 championship contenders. 3 wide for a moment, and Aaron Brown gets the opportunity to sneak away once again.
Now they're going to do this for the whole race. It's not going to give it up at any point. This is why you set the finale at Homestead, Miami. Thank you very much for that choice indeed, because you do get good racing, and you know we're going to focus on the battle for the lead because it's going to be an electrical race. But I think everyone on this field has positions they want to be fighting for, and even if there's not a prize, and they just want just want to beat someone below the top 5. People show up every single week, even if they're not going to be the winners, to learn, to enjoy, and to gain skills that will help them down the line later. So you have to respect everyone out there in the field. We might not get a shot of every battle because these 3 are not going to give it up.
Absolutely, Trey still trying to work over the bottom groove. He was so strong up top, and obviously Aaron Brown seeing what he was doing. Aaron Brown moved up to the top and take his line away, and now he's going to roll over to the bottom and give Trey the top. I think that kind of threw Trey off a little bit here, but Trey's going to move back to the top. It's not going to quite work out for him because now he's under attack from Edward Sanchez. Not much has changed in the championship battle. We're almost identical to how we started this race. Not much has changed since the very beginning. Aaron Brown is still leading the points standings by roughly 7 points as we stand currently. But here we go. Trey is going to try the outside now and continue moving up there. Now, with him running the top, would that be burning his tires up more, or would he be actually saving a little bit up there? Well, there's ways to run this multi-groove track. It seems like the bottom saves the tires a little bit more. When you're up top, you're just absolutely roasting them babies, but there's so much speed up there. I think when a yellow flag flies, that's when everyone is going to hit road. Well, we're seeing Christian Burns try to sneak down here for the 4th position. He's solidly running inside the top 5. I look for him to be a contender for the win here tonight, potentially a underdog winner if these championship contenders take each other out or get a little too racy up front. But we got action going on all around this racetrack. 80 laps remaining from Homestead, Miami.
Time does fly. For a little talk on why those tires get worn so differently, a lot of it's just due to the fact in order to hit the bottom, you have to back up and slow the car a whole lot more. Whereas on the high side, you're not using the wheel terribly much, but you are running at pretty much full speed. This track, the top is faster because it's 2 degrees more banked than the bottom. And not every oval track is like that, and that's the thing that opens up the outside being fast in the right circumstance. You see drivers near the end of the race pile up on there, but then you can maybe send a dive down the bottom if you do it right. Really, you can make an attack work from any angle. It's a real struggle. You have seen these drives improve quite a bit since Charlotte, I'll give you that. A lot of them, they really have just set with it out, and it's a hard track to get around. It really kind of is.
Definitely is a hard track to get around, but this is where I'm going to give Aaron Brown a lot of credit, and he's leading. He's doing everything he needs to do to win the championship, but one important thing he needs to keep in mind, he does not need to win this race, you say. he does not need to finish top 3. He doesn't even need to finish top 5. So the biggest thing for Aaron right now is to tell himself that I don't need to put myself in a position to get wrecked. I don't need to put myself in a position to get taken out here. And that's where things are going to get difficult. You see it there, live points on the top right. Well, it's 6 points difference right now between Aaron Brown and Edward Sanchez, as Sanchez is going to try to take the outside. Now, both of these drivers running side by side, battling for the championship, currently first and second in the standings. Well, this is a 5-race season, and they have 2 races each as a win. Sanchez won both Daytona and Charlotte. Aaron won both Indy and Talladega. Perfect place to end the championship is Miami, and right now Sanchez has proven that he may have saved his tires a little bit better, and he's starting to take off here with 75 laps remaining. New leader up front, Edward Sanchez. What happened here in the back?
I think this is one of the newer drivers, Krinan Van Enman. Whoa! Was a wreck that we didn't get a caution for. Guy's towed. He's out of the race now. Just about dodges going slow enough to trick the whole field, but that is certainly quite the wall slam. The 27 on the top. He goes down, and the 16's right there, and he's not going to give up that sort of space easily. Oh, the 17. Oh 17 smacks him as well as he goes around. Christian Ramson takes a big shot from that.
A lot of damage on both of them race cars. Well, here's Aaron Raymond coming through the outside as the battle for the 4th position is on between him and Christian Burns. It looks like Burns may roll over for a moment, but that fight is only heating up. Every position matters. Behind them is Jonah Bryan, a guy I bragged on a lot last week. I looked at him to be a contender for the win. It seems like Jonah Bryan never starts these races super fast. He just kind of gets a little faster as we continue. I look for him to finish top 5 once again. I'm also looking at Peter Saddington, who is running in the 11th position. It seems like he's just wanting top 10s out of these races. He's learning how to run these oval tracks in these NASCAR stock cars, and with a little bit of luck, I think he may be able to snag yet another top 10 this season. Well, we are about 23 laps away from giveaway time. Blow the chat up if you haven't already, and you're going to have an opportunity to win a Leland Honeyman autographed hero card. So keep that in mind. Put something in the chat if you haven't already. Aaron Brown running in position number 2 behind Edward Sanchez. Right now, Aaron Brown is looking to win the championship by only 6 points as the standings are currently updated. But if he gets into any trouble here, overslides a pit stop, gets into a crash, gets hit by a lapped car, that championship door is wide open between the 26 and the 43. It's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to unfold. The Bitcoin Lambo says, let's go. So far, very good race. It's crazy how Peter Saddington is both commenting and driving at the same time. That is a special talent.
I do it all the time in my leagues. It's irresponsible and the commentators tell me off for it. So I'm not going to tell him off for it because, you know what, that's a degree of hypocrisy. But it certainly does take a degree, especially at a track like Homestead. You barely get any time to do it. I like to do it on tracks with longer straights than that. So hang in there and try not to leave that to be the cause of your wreck. But I tell you, I know it can be done. I know it can be done. Jake Cummings is behind Aaron Raman. He gets quite close throughout the corners, but he's still hitting the bottom right now. A lot of freedom when it comes to people sort of choosing their lines around here, of course. We are in the night time, so 60 on the track. Who's that down to the bottom? Trey Lambrick just drops a position to Christian Burns. Just straight, just flies down bottom. I wonder how he lost that out badly. Let's take a look.
That's Christian Burns on his rear bumper.
It's dropped even more.
And loose.
Could have been aero from Christian on the back as well. That can happen if you get too close to somebody.
So my fear is Trey running the outside groove right up against the wall as early as he was. He may have smoked the tires. I think he was pushing that baby pretty hard, and he may be paying the price now. Looks like the 17, who was involved in a crash earlier, still showing a lot of damage on that race car for the 17.
It's a black flag
here.
going into this pit lane. We do have our first stop, as Zachary Depp is stopping too. That is speeding. There's no doubt about it. That is significant speeding into pit road. That entry comes up on you quick. Ramson takes a black flag. We have Zachary Depper also stopping in the pit lane under green flag. Seems early if you don't have damage problems. It does seem like you're going to struggle to get 70 laps done on this thing in one stop.
It makes me believe that he may have smoked his tires, and he is doing what we call short pitting, which means you're going to come in early, lay down some fast lap times, and pretty much you're going to get a tire advantage. It's not going to be long-lived, but he's going to gain a lot of ground when things do cycle around. Now, if a yellow flag comes out, that strategy comes out the window. So that tells me he's betting on this race to go green. He's going to have fresher tires on it, and maybe we'll get a yellow flag and he'll gain some positions throughout the race. But right now, Edward Sanchez, 2 wins this season. It's been a dominant season, even if it's not a championship night. It's a season to be celebrated, and he's going to get a little bit of that payout cash pot as well. So keep that in mind. I mean, just what a season he has had, man. I mean, if he finishes second in this championship and wins this race, that will be 3 wins this season. I know it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda, but this fight ain't over yet. And he's definitely telling Aaron that it's not over. You know, he's not making this easy for Aaron. And if Aaron burns up his tires or anything, this is going to be a game changer. I mean, we don't know if Aaron went a bit too hard. We just don't know how this race is going to play out. It does appear that Christian Burns is getting a little faster. It appears that he really has saved his tires. He's up to the 3rd position. He's running down second, running down the leaders. I think he can get up there in that Coca-Cola machine. And here comes Jonah Bryan, another one that I talked about where he doesn't always start the best, but he saves his stuff up and charges hard at the end. And we're seeing pit stops continue. Peter Saddington now on pit road. I imagine 4 tires going on, 4 tires going off, and he's also going to be short pitting here.
I mean, the cars aren't going to do significantly more than, 40, but, it does feel as if, number one, you could have stopped under the first caution to get fuel. I know Jake Cummings actually did stop under the first caution, took tires as well, which might have been a mistake, but he's going to be sort of set up well because he's managed to climb his way up through pace. But I feel like if you do it this early, you're going to need another before the end of the race. Maybe it is just a 2-stop race, but you sort of want to delay the inevitable as much as possible unless you think your pace is being destroyed and you'll get them back.
And I think for Trey, who is running 5th, it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and hit pit road. I think his tires are smoked, and I don't see a yellow flag flying. I think he has to probably just play a gamble here and hope for the best and see if that's the route to go, because it's becoming pretty obvious that he's just going to start bleeding positions here. And I know he's a heck of a driver, heck of a talent. It's important not to throw your hands up and say this championship run is over, because he can come back and win this baby. He can come back and win the race. He can come back and win the title. But right now, he needs to know that he screwed up, the tires are dead, and keep your head up, stay in the game, get back focused, get back motivated. You know, talk yourself out of this moment, because it's not over. You may see the championship leaders driving away out of your front windshield, but this fight is not over. This championship is not over. It's time to get up on the wheel and go get that baby in victory lane and see if the rest of the puzzle pieces come together and you're in victory lane come then.
Yellow. Zachary Depper again.
Number 13. Now, what happened here?
Whoa! Off the bottom. Round you go. A lot of it is self-inflicted incident stuff here. I mean, it's not really like... I find that interesting.
So he may have tapped the apron just slightly, but also it's important to know that just barely he tapped that white line, but also that bottom groove gets slick here at Miami. It's better to run about the second groove because it will get slick, and especially on old tires, you might just make a mistake and go around. So the yellow flag is out. Everyone's going to hit pit road. We got 60 laps remaining. Edward Sanchez is going to be the first one to pit. Right now, what Sanchez has to do is nail this pit stop. Don't overslide your box. And the same thing for Aaron Brown. Nail this pit stop. Do not make a mistake that's going to cost you 10 positions and put you in the danger zone. Don't speed on pit road. Don't do anything that will cost you. And from there, that's where things are going to get big. As we're seeing a couple blinks there from Sanchez. That's always a scary moment as well. I mean, sometimes you feel so hopeless when that happens. It appears he may be straightening out for him. Definitely a good time just to hit pit road and reset everything for a lot of these competitors. Pits are opened. What are we going to see? Everyone's coming down to the pits.
We might miss on one or two of the drivers who just took a stop. That makes sense. So they'll be getting their lap back if they stay out. They'll get their wave around. Although unfortunate for them still that they sort of lose a bit of the benefit as they'll get worn tyres later. Here's the whole gang in the pit lane. Wonder if we see anything interesting come out of the other end. Not going through each other's pit boxes. One just has completely missed the box there by a long shot. I don't think it's one of our championship contenders. Don't see anyone taking an unusual strategy unless that car from the back is about to jump a lot of places. Oh, Sanchez over Brown, over Barnes and Cummings. He did jump the field by quite a bit. He's up in fourth.
Money stop right there. Big gain for Jake Cummings. This is definitely shaken out. This is definitely shaken out. So what I'm looking forward to right here is I think these championship contenders are going to really put it on the line here. I mean, I don't think they're just going to go and take Brown out, but they're going to race him hard. They're going to race him hard. They're going to race him hard. And they know if he gets shuffled for whatever reason that may be and gets put in the danger zone, the floodgates may open, and this could be an opportunity race for him. But this is also an important time, like I said earlier, for Aaron Brown just to lock in and say, I don't need to win this race. I do not need to win this race. I just need to finish this race and get a top 5 and come home with the championship. I don't need the win. I just need the championship. And these drivers know that. They know that. So I think we're going to have some wave arounds here, and we're going to get an updated leaderboard momentarily. I'm looking forward to this championship battle. We're right under 60 laps remaining, approaching 50 to go. If you want to enter to win the signed Leland Honeyman hero card, well, this is going to be your final opportunity because on lap number 50, I'm going to be picking a random comment to ship that baby out to. After you win, hit me up on either Discord or Instagram and tell me that you won, show proof that you are the winner, and I'll ship that baby out to you.
We're delaying the restart because the wave-by cars did not understand that they were wave-by the way, which, to be fair, iRacing doesn't help this terribly much because it tells you to stay behind the car in front. So the car in the front has been given the instruction to pass the pace car, the 13. This is, I hate to say it's anyone's fault, but it's kind of his fault because he gets the instruction to pass the pace car and everyone behind only gets the instruction one at a time by iRacing, even though they're all released at once. So it does lead to a little bit of confusion, and drivers sort of coming in out of nowhere. Hopefully we'll hit one to green properly now this time and be able to sort out the field. Edward Sanchez will take the pole, still blinking on that bottom line. You do not want to lose a championship payday to that, let me tell you that.
Definitely not a fun feeling, but let's take a chance to read the chat. Caden says, nice clean racing with some fire emojis. Brent Norton says, these next 30 laps are going to be cinematic. I agree. They definitely are. Stay tuned. Strap your TV down because this is going to be quite a ride. Boo says, let's go, Zach. Davison. We got another one in here. Adventure says, hi, I just got here. So definitely we're packing the house here to put on one heck of a championship battle. Championship night is where we are at. We're live across multiple YouTube platforms as well as Twitch. 4 different platforms here tonight, and we are officially approaching the halfway marker. The pace car is going to be in first and second in the championship battle is running in position number 1 and 2. Here we go, boys. And Sanchez is off. Brown did not get the restart he wanted. He's dropping positions. The championship is wide open. Here we go. 3 wide for second. Brown's trying to gather it back up off turn number 2. And we're going to see Sanchez begin to start cutting into that championship lead. 3 wide, going into turn number 3. The fight's not over. Jake Cubbies has been shot out of the cannonball. He's up the track, almost into Aaron Brown. Brown's championship title almost has got sniped. He's back to the second position. It's looking clean, but a lot of pressure behind him currently.
Even though he'd survive in this place, he doesn't want to be among a field like this that might be willing to cut off his nose and spite his face and not really care too much about it. Can't make any distance on Sanchez. He's been side drafted back badly. He hasn't made up any ground since the start. It is sort of pandemonium back here. It really is. A lot of movement. Mitchell high up, by the way, jumping the restart. Going to have to return to that pit lane. For the rest, Brown is in a safe place, but he needs to get away from these other cars if he wants to ensure that long run help.
55 laps remaining. I mean, you see it here. Edward Sanchez has a half of a second lead. It's important he doesn't burn the tires up. But also, I mean, Brown, he just needs to survive. That's all he needs to do is survive. If you survive, you get the championship. We're going to get a points update here momentarily. I'll keep you guys updated on what exactly is going on with the points battle. And here we go. Currently, 6 points is the difference. Aaron Brown still leading the championship, but only by 6 positions is what it is. We got a lap door to the bottom groove. This is where you just gotta avoid the lap traffic, be smart around them, make sure they don't make a mistake around you as well. But it seems like Edward Sanchez is doing everything that he can do to win this championship. And even with leading the most laps and winning the race, it may not be enough to defeat Aaron Brown for the championship. Well, we got some battles going on. Christian Burns, Jonah Bryan going at it here a little farther back, getting a little bit racy as we are approaching the halfway marker. So it's going to be a show come the end, and you never know, one more yellow flag could really mix up this championship battle. I think if you're Aaron Brown, you just want this baby to go clean and green. I would imagine there's a chance these drivers may hit pit road before the end, but I just don't know if you want to risk it. You may just want to stay out as long as you can here and just take care of your tires and make sure you got a shot here come the end. Look at this, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Jonah Bryan getting aggressive as he's going to go around Christian Burns.
Barnes had an amazing start and then dropped off a bit like a rock. He was competing to sort of take that position away from Aaron Brown, but Aaron's still there, sitting in the P2. Here comes Trey Lambrecht, who needs this place for a P2 in the championship. I think this P2 battle is really the one where it's going to be the most exciting to me, just because it is simply the driver that finishes ahead all the way to the end. They're tied going in, and Aaron Brown is sort of the one who has a bit of safety here. Trey's got to make up 2 places in order to take this P2 away, but he is very good at riding that wall without taking too many shocks from it. He's done a lot of practice of that, let me tell you, from that sort of experience.
So the danger of running that high around the track. First, let me talk about the positives. You're going to be a little faster. You're going to be quicker. Look at the drive he's going to get off turn number 2. You're going to do that every single time around. The danger is you're going to burn up the tires, and also you're going to slap the wall every now and then, like what we just seen right there. And as long as you don't do wheel damage, you'll mostly be okay. But if you hit that baby a little too hard, you can get some wheel damage. The Bitcoin Lambo, well, we got a yellow flag on the track. As I was saying, the Bitcoin Lambo says, dang, again, pit and then yellow. Why do I keep doing this? Well, there's trouble on the racetrack. The number 13 car has been collected once again.
Not the first time, and it happened well before that. Depper's trying to run too low. He's just trying to run too low on the track, and he's just catching the apron, and the same thing seems to keep happening to him. And if you don't eventually wise up and get a little bit off that line, that's going to be that. Now, I don't know whether there's another. He does get a meatball, so I'm afraid this doesn't end here. Zachary Depper tries to leave. Do not do this. Do not do this. Please, man. You're going to regret this. Oh, that's so silly.
It's teammate!
You can't do that. Rejoining like that is sort of penalty worthy in any league. You know, I'm not going to criticize anyone on an individual scale, but that is a decision where you're at Homestead, there's a lot of space below the white line. You go down and you take it. Instead, his teammate's up and he's rejoining in his path, and then he goes back down. That's the Christian Ramson's position. Christian really did try and do everything to avoid that because, as you can see, he sort of goes, he sees his teammates going high and thinks, okay, he's going high, I'm going to go low. And his teammates decided to go low one more time. And there might be some rage between the two after that because they're both meatballed. They're both out of the race. That is not how you want to get back on the track after a spin. The spin happens, and I totally accept that, but you have to learn to rejoin safely.
Absolutely. So I think choosing a pit here could be big. I mean, Jonah Bryan, Christian Burns, and Zach Davison, and I believe that's Peter Saddington also on pit road. I just think tires is the way to go. It's just, it never is bad to take tires. It's never a bad thing to take tires around here, and I think that they're making the right call by coming to pit road. The leader's in a position where they're kind of screwed if they do, screwed if they don't. I think the right call is to go ahead and take tires here. Get the freshest tires you can get on that baby. But you also don't want to put yourself in a dangerous position. But it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Well, it is giveaway time. I'm going to give out the signed Leland Honeyman hero card to one of our viewers, and the winner is going to be Brent Norton. You have won the signed Leland Honeyman hero card. I'll ship that baby out to you first thing Monday morning. But what I'm going to need from you, Brent, is I'm going to need you to head over to Discord or Instagram, hit me up, give me your address, and I'll ship that baby out to you. Show me that you're the winner. Show proof that you won, and I'll get that baby shipped out to you. Instagram is DOBXTV, or head over to Discord and hit me up on there as well. Either one will work. I'll get in contact with you post-race. We'll get that baby shipped out. Congratulations. And there we go. 46 laps remaining. Now, let's look at the tire situation. Jonah Bryan, Christian Burns, Zach Davison coming from the 10th, 11th, and 12th position on this restart with 4 new tires. They're about to rocket through the front of the field. If you're Aaron Brown, I think you gotta push it a little hard on this restart, because last thing you want is one of these guys with 4 new tires trying to blow your doors off and put you in a dangerous position. I think you got to go a little hard, a little early, and be sure you save it up to get to the end of this run, because it's going to be hard going. They're essentially going to be going almost 60 laps on a set of tires, which is never fun at Miami if we go green to the end. Wide in the back, coming off turn number 2. The tires are flying through the field. Zach Davison's on the move. We got a car spin into the bottom, back up into traffic. Are they gonna wreck? Does he save it? We're keeping it green. That is wild. I can't believe he just saved that race car. So this is prime example of 4 new tires are on the way, and they're going to plow through you one way or another because they got a fresh set of goodbyes on their race cars, and they are hauling it. So, up front, Edward Sanchez is still leading this race. Behind him, the championship by 6 points. He needs Aaron Brown to start dropping positions. But 4 new tires are on the way. Christian Burns is currently running in the 6th position. He came from 10th, and he is flying through the field. Jake Cummings has been a fast driver all night. He's running on the 3rd position. This is the position where Aaron Brown might want to pull over for him if it gets a little bit too dangerous. I wouldn't get too racy with these guys. But at the same time, you don't want to put yourself in any danger, but you don't want to just drop positions and start falling like a rock here. Because you do got to get a good finish. These guys are not letting you really give up much here. You can give up a little bit, but not very much. So, Sanchez is running away with this baby. It's not enough for the championship currently. And Aaron Brown is just doing everything he can do to hang on and still clinch the championship. But Jake Cummings in 3rd. He's charging hard, and we got 4 new tires coming to the front with Christian Burns. He's about to find his way inside the top 5.
Jake Cummings could be an interesting one to take it away. It's Josh Norton on the outside and Zach Davison getting caught up by the side draft of 2 on the outside. Christian Barnes back in it. I thought he'd make a move to the inside of Aaron Brown and doesn't there. Holding onto his line. It almost looks like Trey Lambert just in the wall. But I'm not seeing the sort of smoke you get when you hit it. So that is fine for now. On our championship standings, Edward Sanchez, quite the gap over Trey Lambert for that P2. Van Brown still holding out the lead so far. I mean, where is, should I work some things out? I mean, Trey did lose quite a few places. Indeed, we're 3 wide on the backstretch again. Almost. Just settle that one out in time. It's got to go fast.
So, my fear is the tires. I don't know how hard the leaders are currently pushing it. That's my biggest fear. Because as I said, nearly 60 laps is a long time on tires here at Homestead, Miami. And I got a good feeling this baby might just go green. And if it does, it's gonna be, it's kind of like playing poker. You don't want to show your hand too early, but some of these guys may have something in their hand that they haven't shown yet that they're gonna show when it's go time. Well, here we go, boys. The race for the top 3 is on. Throw them all under a blanket because they are single file for it, saving tires and chasing after a championship. And this is such a cool event for college kids to go racing. It's the off season for motorsports, the best time to have a league. Now, next season, we are going to jump from NASCAR to doing a little bit of road racing with the MX-5s. So that's going to be something completely different compared to the NASCAR division. And, hey, we're going to make a fun schedule with that. There'll be more to announce on a later date. Did we just see Aaron Brown scrape the wall, or was that Jake Cummings?
Brown's on the outside, Cummings on the inside. I didn't see too hard of a wall tap from either driver, but it could have just been a slight momentum killer. I'm also British. Sorry, some crimes can't be forgiven. You never quite know what netcode is going to produce. He looks pretty clean for now, right up against the wall again. Trying to push it hard here right now. I don't know if he's just doing this line because it's sort of out of the way of everybody else, or whether he really thinks he needs that race victory. I mean, it would get him out of the way of others, and time is running out on this race, and he certainly is fast on the top. I think he might make this work this time.
Is it too early, though, is my question. I mean, I just feel like these Miami races, you always don't really show your hand till the very end. I would understand if it was maybe 20 ago, 36 ago, might be a bit too early just to drop the hammer on the car. Because, yeah, Aaron can probably check out by a second and a half right now if he wants to. But the tire give up is going to obliterate this car come the end. But he could also be betting on another yellow flag, a drop, or if it goes green, you might just want to bet on that as well. I'm leaning more towards this race going green, but you just never really know what can change it here. I mean, even the race leader, Edward Sanchez, is not really escaping the field. Nobody's really just getting away right now. I mean, the top two are bumper a bumper, and they got 6 points in between them. A whole season has came down to just 6 positions on track. And I know Edward Sanchez is probably really beating himself up for Talladega, where he got wrecked on the final lap, and that essentially most likely cost him the championship. It most likely cost him. But also at the same time, Aaron Brown had a little bit of bad luck at Charlotte, where Edward Sanchez was able to go find victory, win that race, and really put himself back into contention. But that's the beauty of motorsports. That's the beauty of sim racing. That's the beauty of league racing. And for these college kids to have the opportunity, although it's not in a real-life car at this very moment, to put themselves in a position like this where they gotta battle all the emotions that, say, a NASCAR driver will have to battle going for a championship, a Formula 1 driver, a top local track driver. This is truly an opportunity to get your foot in motorsports, whether it's sim racing, real-life racing. This is the platform for college kids to go motorsport racing. We have 32 laps remaining when we get back around to the line. Edward Sanchez is running away with it. It looks like Aaron Brown has either A, backed up his pace to save the tires, or B, he has obliterated the tires and now losing positions. Keep your eye on Christian Burns, who is running 4th currently with the 4 new tires on it. I think he's going to eat into this lead and potentially go win this race in car number 27.
I'm trying to work out where the 27 is on this field. Maybe you need to oh no, he's got a 27 on his car and a 9 in the graphics. Oh no. I'd like to see him hit up the front. We didn't see him last week. I always thought he was one of the stronger drivers. He got a bit unlucky a few times. I'd like to see an opportunity for him to do it. He had a good restart, dropped off quite a significant amount. Now coming back, indeed, I think Aaron Brown used too much, as you're very right about that. I think Jake Cummings is totally on him, and if I was Aaron, I would consider just not making this terribly hard for Jake and just sort of run your line still, but expect Jake to do it and don't try to defend like a rock, because he still has a lot of insurance available to him, and pretty much anything can happen between now and then. Here comes Jake Cummings up the track, has to hold it off because Aaron Brown is still there. That's another lap to Aaron's advantage. Christian's going to be enjoying looking at this, thinking there might be a window for me in here, but it's looking pretty clean for a lot of the drivers up front. I think it might take an external shock to change things up. There might be room for another pit stop though. Some drivers are on a 30-lap stint, 30 to go. There is no way they can do this without stopping again. That's going to introduce an interesting pit divergence.
And it could affect the championship battle. I mean, let's just say that Aaron Brown loses his position. Well, it goes from 6 points to 5 points. And let's say Christian Burns, that's on a little bit fresher tires, gets around him. And now we're down to only a 4-point difference. Say Aaron Roman and Jonah Bryan, who's also on 4 new tires, gets around him. Well, now it's 2 points. Anything can change from that point on. That's what I'm saying. This championship battle is not over. It is far from over. This battle is far from over. So much can change right here. So, the Bitcoin Lambo. Peter Saddington says, well, we need to pit. Announcers, give me tips. So, I'm going to let Hallie give you some advice here, but here's my advice. I think you keep this baby out. You're going to lose too much time on pit road. Keep it out, gamble on a yellow, and see if it drops. There's definitely going to be some fall off here between the leaders, but I say you just keep it out as long as possible and wait for the race to fall in your lap.
That's probably how I play this game as well, to be honest. Just hold out there, hold out there, hold out there. I mean, if your car has another 30 laps of fuel, then just run it, run it, run it. Otherwise, hope something happens. I mean, unless you really think like that time delta is going to get me back up and it's going to make up a few places, I certainly wouldn't take a gamble if my position really, really, really mattered to me right now. You're going to see these drivers playing it quite safe, and we're in the window where it could become a fuel-saving game, and when it does, I'll be listening into the RPMs on some of those engines later. For now, we're not really in that position. Drivers are throttling up through the corners. Here's Aaron Brown's on board. Certainly sounds like a next-gen should
This is looking to be quite the championship battle. And I feel for Sanchez, and I know the position that Aaron Brown is in. It's, you don't want to push too hard, but you don't want to give too much. And you got to find that line. He's doing a beautiful job at finding that line right now of what he needs to do. And like we said, a yellow flag will absolutely be a game changer. A yellow flag could be a make or break for this championship battle. And they're 3 wide currently. If we're going to get a yellow flag, it might happen just right here with how these guys are racing this baby out for the 4th position. That is 4th, 5th, and 6th going at it. We got Trey, we got Jonah Bryan, and Aaron Raymond going for this 4th position with nobody wanting to give an inch. And as these tires do wear down, it does open the door for one of these drivers to get a little loose and self-spin and mix this whole race up come the end. That's why I say this championship battle is not going to be over until we see that checkered flag flying. 24 laps remaining is what we have currently.
Right up against the wall, Trey Lambert, who has fallen back quite a bit and is really losing sight of this P2 in the championship now. He's got multiple people he'll have to pass to even make it to Sanchez, who might be the one that comes home with the win. He'll be ruining the wrecks at tracks like Charlotte that really hurt him. Kind of, I mean, you could call that 3 wide in a stretch if you really want to call it exciting, as Aaron Raman and Jonah Bryan around them. But mostly they're sort of playing their own game right now. I think they are mostly lined up in pace order. I'm keeping a very close eye out onto pit road, though. Here's Bryan on the bottom. Proves she can be a little bit faster on there, but the exit for Trey Lambert, as he forces Bryan out of the way. You get so much corner exit speed carrying momentum on the top around here. Sort of makes up anything you get diving in the bottom.
So, looking at the lap times, Edward Sanchez is still running some of the fastest laps in the field. Even up front while leading, he is still the fastest car on the track. So that tells me he's definitely, either he has a lot of speed in that car and has this track figured out, or he's not saving very much in the tire bank currently. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. We also have Christian Burns. He just ran the fastest lap last time by from that 4th position. I look at Christian Burns in that number 9, 27 Coca-Cola machine on the screen to really get up there and go challenge for this win and win this race. With 20 laps remaining, I think he made the right call. I think he's going to have the fastest car come to end if we stay green. But the pits are opening up. We're seeing some guys hit pit road.
Morgan Squires burned up those tyres by sliding them all over the track a whole lot earlier, so this makes sense as one of the drivers that you would stop around here. Going to take all 4. 39 on the stint. We're 40 into the stint for some of these drivers now. I doubt they're going to stretch it out to 60. Wonder how the drivers on the alternate strategy are going to do. But the way they do their stops is really going to determine everything.
Absolutely. So we're still seeing Aaron Brown run the outside. Still putting quite a bit on the line. I think both these leaders are putting quite a bit on the line currently. But they've been playing a smart race. Everyone has been mature about this championship fight. And they have been respectful from the drop of the green flag. We haven't seen any of the championship contenders lean on each other, you know, door rub one another. They all have been super respectful and been trying to race this thing out, even with such a huge jackpot on the line for the champion. And Edward Sanchez, I mean, like I said, 2 wins this season, looking at 3. He may have the most wins this season and not be the champion. And sometimes that's just the case in stock car racing. But they came into this battle tied up with wins, both Aaron Brown and Edward Sanchez. But it's not the winner that gets the championship, but the most points all around for the season. And right now, that is Aaron Brown by 6 points. 6 positions is what's separating the top 2. But if Aaron Brown burns up his tires or a yellow flag flies, there's always going to be a bit of anxiety in the back of the mind of Aaron Brown. Things could change, and it's not over until it's over.
I wonder what is going to happen to the fuel on these drivers up at the front. Listening into the revs, they're going to drop to an absolute rock in the mid-corner if you're saving, and that doesn't look like saving to me. It looks like Aaron Brown is running it. I actually don't know if these cars can run 60 laps in here. That's my total confession, is that like if they can, then I'm actually the stupid idiot, and you could laugh at me because I didn't hit the track and I didn't practice it. So, you know, it's all over. But I'm just used to them sort of running 40, 45, maybe 50 on a track of a length like this. So it means that some of these drivers might be keeping it late, and they're certainly not trying to save right now.
So that's my question, is fuel mileage and tires. I really think that's what this is going to come down to. We got 16 laps remaining, but, you know, I'm looking at some of these drivers, and let's take a look at some of the lap times here, and it's still, we got Edward Sanchez just lap after lap being one of the fastest cars on the track. So we are going to be very close on fuel. Very, 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 very close. It looks like these drivers are going to be about right on the money. Some may run out if they went a little too hard, and some may make it to the end, but they're going to be about right on the money. I believe you can go 55 to 60 laps on fuel, and they're going to be right on the money come the end of this run if we stay green. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but right now, Edward Sanchez still up front leading, and still one of the fastest cars in the field by nearly a second gap is what we're seeing over Aaron Brown. I think Aaron's just doing what he has to do. He doesn't have to win this race. He doesn't even need to finish top 3. He's doing a great job holding up in second, and that tells me he probably has a little bit more in the tank than what he needs. But coming in with a 7-point advantage, he knew that he didn't have to win. He just had to be quick. Now, some lap traffic ahead. I think it's important to be on your toes here while going around them and not to put yourself in a dangerous position. 12 laps remaining at the line.
Have I been wrong about the fuel the whole time? Have I just been stupid? Have I been the dumb one? I'm going to search this right now, and if I've been the stupid one, none of you are getting an extra hero card from me, but you're all getting a formal apology, you know?
There you have it. 12 laps remaining. We're watching it. It looks like the third position just slapped the wall. That's Jake Cummings. I mean, I'm paying attention to his lap times, and that guy is charging to the front of the field right now. He's 1.3 seconds off, and it seems like Sanchez is really getting his lead cut into. It looks like Aaron Brown has gained a couple tenths on him. It looks like Cummings has gained a couple tenths on him. Are we seeing Edward Sanchez's run begin to kind of fall apart here? I mean, one thing I'll look at, not only he may have melted the tires, he's also in a bit of dirty air with the lapped car in front of him with older tires. And this is where Aaron Brown can potentially get a little greedy and go for the win and the championship, and that's going to get entertaining. 10 laps to go at the line. Aaron Brown wants both the win and the title, but if he puts himself in a dangerous position, he may not get either. 10 laps remaining from Homestead Miami Speedway. The race is on, and Aaron Brown has moved up to the top of the racetrack to really try to start marching to the front. He's giving this baby 100% now. He has dropped the hammer in car number 12, and he's trying to run down that 26 car of Sanchez. They're breaking about even now, and that tells me that Sanchez has stepped up his speed a little bit in the tank as well, and that time by is 0.7 of a second. Not a lot is changing, but we are seeing Brown still begin to track in the green. And with lap traffic ahead, how much is that going to change the field? 8 remaining when we get to the line.
I think these drivers are going to make it, and I've not seen Aaron Brown make up a ton of pace in the last couple laps. He's been red on the last 2 and still in that 8/10 gap. I think the lap cars might make the difference or change this race into a different kind of shootout. Still almost even on the laps, but that exit out of that turn, he got a lot of momentum. He made up a 10th on it. So we'll keep an eye. That's a wobble on the bottom. I think he may have touched the apron
Into
there.
the wall!
That's a tiny wall
Sanchez.
tap. I mean, it's a second gap now. That tap on the apron was a much bigger deal, I think, for Brown, because this lap's going to be slow.
Oh, I think Brown has kind of got... Oh, yeah, another tap right there. He may have burned the tires up. If he spins that car around, that championship run is over. He has to keep that car intact. He can't keep bobbling. He can't keep losing control. If he does, the championship goes off the window. Now 1.2 seconds. That 12 of Aaron Brown is dropping like a rock currently. He is dropping ground immediately. 1.3, another 10th out. He has lost. He is dropping quick now. With 7 laps remaining, one more mistake may cost him here. Off turn number 4, he's going to get that car back intact. He's about to be under pressure from Jake Cummings for that second position.
No reason to overpush this to win a championship. You'll regret losing it in the last 6 laps when you're so secure in the position you are right now. It would be a clean win for Aaron Brown, 6 points over Edward Sanchez. But he just has to not mess it up. He's lost a lot of time. He can keep losing time. As long as that time lost doesn't result in something horrible happening that resets this whole field. And Jake Cummings is coming at him very, very fast. You can't put up too much resistance right now. I'd say give this up to Jake Cummings. You're still even safe over Trey Lambrecht, who's had a worse race than you. He's down in 7th. He's completely struggled in the long run around this track. This one's really exposed to personal skill. Another shot into the wall, but even though Sanchez has been the more skillful driver today, Charlotte punished him bad, punished him very, very bad, because this is still not going to be his championship.
So I know that Aaron Brown, he's continuing to drop. It's almost 2 seconds now. And Edward Sanchez has just absolutely hit liftoff mode. He is taken off up front. He's emptying out the tank up there. So if you are Aaron Brown, what you're thinking about right now is not only like, I can give up these positions, but you're also almost begging and praying for a yellow flag. Do not drop. Keep this baby green. Because if that yellow flag drops, that's going to put you in a position to have to make a pit stop. And then it comes down to, well, will anyone take 2 tires? Will anyone stay out? Will anyone cut me 3 wide on a restart? Will I get collected in somebody else's mess? There's so many what-ifs if that yellow flag drops. And that is where it's going to get challenging. But as they are coming back to 2 laps remaining, it does appear that Sanchez has a train of traffic in front of him. And I know as well, he doesn't have to pass these guys, you know. He's wanting to get this win. He made a name for himself this season. And this season will not be overlooked for Edward Sanchez, even if it doesn't have a title on the line. Well, there we have it. 2 laps remaining from Homestead, Miami, to settle a championship as Sanchez cuts through the lap traffic.
You don't get signed hero cards from me. You do get an apology. The cars obviously could make it. Peter Staddington from Meatball. That car is, I think he's destroyed his toe link because he rode up against that top wall. Maybe he blew a tyre. Actually, that can cause that. Not the most important thing in the world, as here comes Sanchez for the white flag lap. A race winner, but not a championship winner today. That's going to go to the car in pursuit that just needs to make it around one more big turn at Homestead to take that cash prize.
Here we go. Edward Sanchez up turn number 3 and 4. He is not going to win the championship. He's going to come up just short, but he's going to win the race, the Miami 400. But all eyes are on Aaron Brown as he is the first ever CRS Sim Racing champion. Aaron Brown gets it done by 6 points.
Messy championship for many, many drivers. They'll be ruining little incidents here and there that could have changed things for them. Some got lucky, some got unlucky. But you had to be consistent and stay out of it to make sure it mattered when it mattered. And you can't take that away from Aaron. He was fast all season. He was one of those competitors that could have done it. And there it is. That's a little bit of history we just made.
We're going to get an interview in here shortly Aaron Brown, do you have a copy? It wasn't the race win, but it was the championship. You are the first ever CRS Sim Racing champion. Walk me through the emotion. Walk me through the season. Walk me through the race.
It's awesome. It's awesome to win. I never win. I never win championships. I feel like every time I'm in a shot to win a championship, it just all falls apart in any possible way. It wants to fall apart. It just does. I'm so happy. It's finally everything just worked out perfectly. I mean, I didn't get the win, but that's all right. Ever got the win. That's what matters. We got the top 6 like we needed to. We clinched it. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy we got the win. And it's just what a race. What a race. Clean, very clean race. Just so glad everything worked out perfectly.
Aaron Brown is the champion. He has hit the jackpot here in CRS. But also, not only all eyes were on Aaron Brown, but Edward Sanchez, who is the winner. He won Daytona. He won Charlotte. He won Miami. It was enough for the win, but not enough for the championship. Edward Sanchez, walk me through Miami and how it feels to come up this short, but also to snag the 3rd win of the season.
Oh man, first of all, congrats to my boy Aaron Brown on winning a really amazing run of a season. I mean, a championship winner. He's so happy. I can hear him screaming still in the VC. But for me, yeah, no. So throughout the whole series, of course, it was just, I know that Aaron was in it, you know, for the bragging rights, and I was in it really for the money as well, but for the bragging rights too. And ever since Daytona, you know, we worked together. I won it there. Indy, he wins it. I got wrecked out. Followed up by Talladega, in which I got spun out up front. And then, of course, lastly at Charlotte, I was able to win. And I'm just so happy. I got 3 wins. He got 2 wins. You can see how we dominated the season. But almost there at the end, of course, 6 points was the difference. And I'm just super happy for Aaron to get his win. But, man, that whole race, I was just focused on just trying to stay in front of Trey. I know that we were both tied on points, and you couldn't have stripped it any better. And, of course, as Aaron, you know, I'm happy that he won a title. But I know that Trey and I, we were looking for that big money, that big prize purse. And, you know, being tied, that means that there was no tiebreakers, whoever finished up front. So when we qualified and he got pole, I was afraid. I genuinely was. And then I saw that he had a great short run speed, but luckily, a lot of practice, long run speed was the name of the game, and for me, it paid off heavenly. And to just finish 1-2 with my boy Aaron, it's just, I'm ecstatic, man. I'm so happy to get the big money and him to get the big title. Yeah, it was just amazing.
Congratulations, 2nd in the championship, Edward Sanchez. But you spoke about Trey, and we're going to see if Trey now has a copy. 3rd in the championship. I know it wasn't what you wanted, but you definitely put on a battle. You made it known early that they was going to have to come through you. I know it wasn't the championship, but P3 in the championship. How does that feel? And tell me about your season.
Yeah, season could have went better. You know, I had a rough start, I feel like, in the points division, but held out towards the end to have a better shot at it. As you pointed out, me and Edward were tied in the points, so coming to this last race was a pretty big deal. Again, I had the short run speed, but I never really had it long. I couldn't figure out the bottom line in order to save tires. It didn't feel like it was doing anything for me, and it was certainly doing well for others. So giving my best shot, you know, I'm happy for my competitors. They definitely had a great season as well. There were quite a few times where they're just holding it down up front. And so, again, much deserved to them, and congrats.
Congratulations, and our 3rd place driver of today's event, Jake Cummings. Do you have a copy? I want to know about your race. I know you're charging hard come the end. Tell me about that late race charge.
Yeah, just kind of came in to have some fun. I knew Aaron and Edwin had a fight going on. I wasn't sure what the permutations was, but I didn't want to mess them up, so I didn't really give them too hard of a time in case it was a tie or whatever it was. But yeah, it was a fun race. Glad we got some good green flag runs in, and just got back from the PRI show in Indianapolis. Aaron was there too, so that was a lot of fun. Just kind of getting used to my rig again. It's a lot worse, unfortunately, but yeah, it was good fun.
Congratulations to all drivers in today's event as well as the season. And you heard it there. I mean, I just, a lot of excitement in these drivers' voices. It just sounds like everyone had so much fun throughout the season, and I think that can't go unnoticed. Hallie, what an event, what a season. I mean, it was quite the ride from the first race to the final race, and there is the official championship standings.
It certainly has been fun jumping in. I did miss Daytona. I think the whole world missed Daytona, but it's been fun jumping in, and it's nice to know about the next plans. I think you are going to have to consult with me to build the nightmare schedule that will test some of these drivers to the limit. It's cool seeing them learn, but there's some great racing to be had as well out there on the track, and it's been fun to be around for the whole ride, even though it's 2:20 p.m. a.m. even. I'll take it. PM would be normal, so AM's not.
So as we cap off the season, obviously, big shout out to Garage ID. If you don't know Garage ID, you go on there, you sign up for these events. We got real life racing events, we got sim racing events. If you want to be registered for next season, go on there, and we have given out about $2,000 worth of prizes tonight for this championship. So if you want to register for next season, Garage ID is where you go. Peter Saddington has a team called Bitcoin Racing. Check that out. This series was presented by DriveSmart, which you can go on there, drivesmart.auto, which also has all these college kids covered through Garage ID, CRS, and man, just what a series we put together. I feel like this was a big success and first of many. The amount of impressions we got through YouTube Shorts, the live streams, Instagram promotions, Instagram Reels, you know, it feels like it's in the hundreds of thousands. It's been quite a success here for Season 1. So thank you to all the drivers that came out and supported this field, supported what we have put together with both CRS, Garage ID, DriveSmart, and shout out to all the college kids who got to jump into motorsports. And next season, we're going road racing with the MX-5 machines, and it's going to be one heck of a show. I know, Hallie, tell me about the MX-5 and the road side of things and how that's going to be for these college kids.
I'm in love with that thing. It's very loose and trickier than you'd imagine, especially on some of the more technical tracks in iRacing, but it can really, really be mastered, and it can make some nice physical racing. There's also I'm going to have to work hard to pick some of the best tracks available in iRacing to make this one come together, because it certainly is where everybody starts in their racing career, but that's for a good reason. There's nothing quite like it.
So, for the final time in 2025, we are going to be signing off. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, and 2026 is right around the corner. And we'll be set and ready, locked in for a brand new season. Thank you all for coming out to not only this stream and this event, but throughout all 5 events. Shout out to all you guys for making this happen. Signing off with the CRS Sim Racing